You're live now.
Hi, I'm Olive from Knead staff.
So we're going to be coming up live at 10.
And we're going to be coming live soon. Wait, what?
Okay, now it's live. Go.
Hi, I'm Olive from Knead staff, and I've been part of youth staff for 4 years now. And today we're going to be making jewelry, the Knead Energy Sidekick jewelry, and we're going to use polymer clay and salt dough. I'm going to show you how to make the salt dough and how you can use it to make some of our Knead Energy Sidekicks. I'm going to show you the polymer clay, which you can buy online. I made some charms before, and they're fun to make, but most people don't have polymer clay right now because we can't go out to the store and because of the quarantine. So we have everything that is good ingredients. We have salt, flour, and water. And what you need to do is you need to get a big bowl, a medium-sized bowl. You're going to take a cup salt. You're going to pour it into a small measuring cup for 1 cup, and then you're going to pour 2 cups flour. Now it needs to be all-purpose flour, or you need to sift flour because it needs to be fine, or it won't work right. And you can use whatever kind of salt you have at home. It doesn't have to be fine. It could be pink Himalayan salt. It can be any salt you want to. 1 cup salt, 2 cups flour, and 1 cup water. Now you'll mix the flour and salt together with your hands, and so it doesn't stick together or clump together. And you're going to slowly add a tablespoon by tablespoon of water. And after 1 tablespoon, you'll mix it up and do that routinely until it's good. You might not have to use your whole amount of water because certain places are humid and some are drier, so you might need to use a little bit more or use a little bit less of water. And then you're gonna mix it all together. I have some already made because when you mix the flour and water, you're gonna have to let it knead for 10 minutes and then let it sit for 20 minutes. And it's gonna be a lot of time to let it do that. So what we did, I'm going to take some and I'm going to show you how we color it. So you'll need a baggie and food coloring and some dough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten it out, and I'm going to take blue and put a couple drops around it because you need a lot. You don't need just like a little bit like if it was like icing or something or slime. You need a lot because it's thick dough. And you'll put it in a baggie. And you're going to close it and then mix it up real good with your fingers in there. And it might take a little bit. And I have some already made of red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. But I want to show you how to make it. And we're going to do this for a couple minutes. And when you take it out, it might get a little bit on your hands. But dish soap will be good and it'll get it off quick. We're going to mix it up. And I'm going to take it out now. It might take a second for it to stick. And first I'm going to show you how to make the hydropower energy Knead sidekick. Hydropower is energy created by moving water, and it helps us create electricity to run our homes and help run our washing machines and stuff like that. So now it's a nice pretty water blue, and we're going to mix it up with our hands like this. You want to really get in there because it'll look much better when it's baked, when it's all really good mixed together. Like this. So there, we got it pretty good mixed together. We'll take a small bit and make sure it's all mixed. And it like that color, so I don't need to add any more food coloring. And what we're going to do to make the hydropower, which is this little sidekick, what we're going to need to do is we're going to roll it in our hand and then carefully pinch it, like slowly turn it, but on one side you want to pinch the top slightly and not like make it like a cone, but you want it like this, and then you're going to slightly turn the side for this little teardrop. Now you can make it and put holes, but it's not like use a toothpick and you can make eye holes and mouth. Or you can, after you bake it, you can use Sharpies or Crayola markers or any markers you have and draw the faces on. It's not like polymer clay where you can like take little tiny bits. It doesn't. It's more like Play-Doh, and Play-Doh is hard to do that. So we have this, and I'm going to set it down to show. And if you want to, you can, for a necklace or something, you can put a toothpick in there and make a little hole and there, and then you take it out, or you could leave it in there for to bake. But I'm going to take it out, and so when you put it in the oven, it'll bake with the hole, and so you can put it on the necklace later. And then I'm going to show you how to make the earth and the geothermal energy sidekick. The geothermal energy sidekick is geothermal energy is some heat inside the earth, and it helps us heating our houses and doing stuff like that. So we're going to take about a small ball, and then we're going to take, you might want like half of that because you don't want to make it too big, and we're going to take a little bit more than we had, and what we're going to do is we're going to roll them up in lines like this so it stays good, and you want them to be real nice and like turned, so we're going to like turn it like this and twist it and then roll it together, and I like it. It looks pretty good, and it looks kind of like the earth. And so I'm going to leave it like this so later we can draw the cute little faces on. But first, I'm going to show you with a paper clip. You must use a metal paper clip if you're going to do it for a hook, for like a keychain or something like that. You can get a hook and you just slide it, use the paper clip, but it must be metal or it'll melt in the oven. And so you're going to have it like that, and you put it on with a hook instead of using like a hole. Or if you just want to leave it like that, you can just leave it alone. Now we're going to make the biomass. Biomass energy is from anything that was alive. The most, what we use most for biomass is wood. So you like burn the wood and use it to make houses and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it flat, and then we'll use the plastic knife and carefully make like a leaf shape. It's kind of round, and you want to make sure it's not too big because you don't want it too big. And we're going to make it like that big, and then our little biomass character has a little place where he goes in like a triangle, and then he has like a little bite out of him, like from a caterpillar. So there we go, and we'll draw his face on later. I like the biomass character. Now we're going to set that one down. And I think we should do the solar power next. Our solar sidekick is one of my favorites. The solar energy is from energy and from the sun. It comes down on rays to the earth. And now what we're going to do is we're going to roll a circle, a small circle, for the center of our solar sidekick. And I'm going to make mine kind of flat. So what I'm going to do is make a circle, and I want it to be flat, so I'm going to take a little bit off, and I'm going to push it down slightly so it's nice and round. And then I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to roll it in a line like this and wrap it around. Now I don't want it thick, crazy thick, so I'm going to make sure it's nice and thin and go like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly pinch the sides. Doesn't look like a sun now, but when you bake it, it'll cool. Now, after you add the face, you can add the little arms that stick out, and it's a cute little smiley face. There we go, the solar. And next, I think we should do the wind. Wind energy is wind moving air, so we can use energy to help power our thing. This one is, I think, the most complicated one. It's kind of complicated if you're not used to making it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flatten it out. We don't want it to stick to whatever you're making it to. So be careful when you're sticking it down. You wanna kind of like flip it so it like doesn't stick all the way. And you wanna cut a nice square. I don't know how big you wanna make it. I'm gonna make mine pretty big because I wanna make sure I can get the instructions good. And so there we go. And I'm gonna make sure it's a nice square. Now what we're going to do is we don't want to cut it all the way through the middle. We're going to kind of cut the sides slightly, but don't go to the middle or it will fall apart. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one corner and put it over there. And we're going to take it right here and then put it right in the middle. Take one corner of each side and put it in the middle. You want to make sure it's the same corner on each side because we want to make sure it's all nice and even. Now you're going to slightly push it down so it makes it flat in the middle. You're going to take a teeny tiny little bit to make the cute nose. And our wind sidekick has a little mustache, and you can draw on his mustache later. I'm going to take 2 tiny dots for the eyes, and I'll draw on the mouth later. And there we go, we got our wind sidekick. I'm not going to make him a keychain. Right now, I'm going to make the natural gas sidekick, which is a non-renewable resource. Natural gas is a mixture of green gases you can't see or smell, and taste. We often add odor to it so we can smell it, so we can use it, and we burn it, and we use it as energy when we burn it. Now our natural gas sidekick is orange and blue, and I'm having more orange, so I'm going to mix a bit of yellow and blue. Now the salt dough will stick to your hands, but it's alright. It just comes off with water because it's just flour and salt and water. And now this one is probably the kind of complicated. It's kind of hard because it's like a flame, so it's the natural gas. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get my glue here, which is right here. What you want to do is the blue's on the inside. So what you do is you take the blue, you flatten it out, and you probably want to take some curves, you want to pinch it kind of to make it like the flames. You might want to make one a little bit shorter and one a little bit taller. And what you're going to do is you're going to stretch the yellow so it's thin on the orange on the outside. You want it thin so it looks like our little sidekick. And you want to make sure it goes around the flames. Maybe you can make a little bit different ones. But it doesn't have to, they don't have to look exactly the same. They can definitely look different. Now, this one has enough room where I could make a little base. So I'm going to take 2 little small dots. And then I'm going to make a little smile. Here. Now these are kind of hard to make, especially with the dough. It's like making with Play-Doh. So it won't look exactly the same. We try really hard to, but it's kind of hard to. So I made these, which out of polymer clay, they are coal earrings. I made different ones. Okay. Now they're coal, they're little coal, which coal is a non-renewable resource, and we use it in there. Now I can't make coal because coal is dark and we use gray, but when you're done you can always just take some regular And then when you're done, just color in a Sharpie or Crayola. And all you do for the coal, I like this one, it's fun. You can just shape it however you really like. And I'm going to shape it like I'm going to shape it almost like a dog. So you can have it like flat, there. Now we got it like this. And so there's enough room. You want to make sure there's enough room for the eyes, mouth, and it has cute little eyebrows. So you want to make sure you be able to draw the eyebrows on. Now, we have gone over most of our sidekicks. A couple of them, there's petroleum and propane and uranium. Uranium is a mineral found in rocks in the ground, and we release it in nuclear power plants. And propane is the gas we use to fuel our backyard grills, stuff like that. Here's one of our propane. Here is uranium. And then we also have petroleum. Petroleum is a liquid that's found underground. Sometimes we call it oil. Now, you're probably going to have a lot of dough left with the amount of salt left, and you can make beads. We made a necklace, and we use beads, but you can make your own beads. You can use whatever beads you want. Since I live in Galveston Island in Texas, I found coral and shells on the beach, and so we put that on with hydropower, which is the energy of water moving. Now we have left, it takes 2 hours, about 2 hours for the dough to bake in the oven. And so I have the biomass, the wind sidekick, the solar sidekick, and the geothermal sidekick already here. And I'm going to show you how to make their cute little faces, because they're really cute. For the geothermal, which is like the earth, you want to make sure he has a wide smile and a little circle, and then you want to make sure there's like a little white in there. And there, we got the geothermal earth. Then you can make it into a necklace or whatever you like. And the biomass has a nice wide smile too. And it's kind of hard to draw on these once you make the lines because the clay is ragged. But you can make them blank like I did and draw their faces on. But in certain places, the clay dough will bake it out in direct sunlight, but it can't be humid. And but if you're gonna bake it in the oven, you can have it 250 degrees Fahrenheit or 120 Celsius in your oven for about 2 hours. And we baked it on a silicone sheet so it didn't stick on there, and it baked nicely, and it didn't burn it or anything. So we used it. I would recommend a silicone sheet or parchment paper. They work nicely. Now, if you want to make our other Knead sidekicks, you can look online at Knead.org, and you can find our little sidekicks, and you can find all our little sidekicks: coal, natural gas, petroleum, propane, uranium, biomass, geothermal, hydropower, solar, and wind. They're all super cute and have their own little personalities. And now I'll show you how to put on a necklace. I'll put on the little buttons. We have string, which you can use whatever you like. You can use wire or ribbon if you have ribbon, or you could just put it on a necklace you already have. So we're gonna take some of it. I think I'm going to use ribbon, and I'm going to put it on there. Make sure it goes through the hole, and because we made a hole with a toothpick. And it didn't work very well. So you want to make sure your hole's wide enough or some things will not fit through it. Now I have wire, and you can make a wire, you can make it into a keychain, you can make it into a bracelet, or you could wrap rocks with it and make it like a wind chime, or do cool stuff with it, and you can hang it on your backpack, or whatever you like. And we're going to add a couple of beads to it. And you can easily wrap around and and you could add shells, whatever you like to it really. So I'm going to wrap around to make it a little wind chime. Because you can add like pieces of glass you can add bells, you can add pieces of metal you have. Like you go outside and you found special places, rocks, and so you can just add a piece of string after you like made a little hole like this, and you want to make sure it's tight or it will fall. And you could have it hanging outside. Now we bought this dough left. You can save it in a big plastic baggie, or if you have it colored, you can put it in little plastic baggies, and you could use it later. But you don't want to wait too long, or it will dry out. And if it's like getting kind of dried out and you want to use it, you can add just a little bit of water and make sure it's kneaded through there, and make sure it's nice. But it's not gonna be like sticky or slimy. It's gonna be like Play-Doh but grainier if you're using grainy sand. And it's like trying to make cookie dough. It's like cookie dough, pretty much, because it kind of gets caked to your hands. But it comes right off the water. And it comes about like a little less than 3 cups of this stuff. And you could use it for making different beads, jewelries, or if you want to make little dosages or ornaments, since it's almost holiday time. And you can also do more neat little sidekicks. You can practice them and make sure you make them have their little faces, or you can practice making little designs. And then you have all the little things you can make with polymer clay. If you do have polymer clay at home, you can use these little things, little tools, and they're easy to use with polymer. They're hard to use with the dough because the dough sticks to it. But you want to be careful with these if you add that with polymer clay. If you add the eyes, sometimes the eyes do fall off. So you can use like a Sharpie and draw little dots, which is fun. But for like the sun, you want to make sure it's like all bright and like happy. So I'm going to draw the eyes and the little outstretched arms, which he always has. But it's hard to draw once you made the holes, so you might want to make it like flat and without the holes, because it really is hard to do. So what we're going to do is the little earth always a solar power, and it's like, whee! And his arms like it's going on a ride. Now, we have a little bit of time left, and I think that we should go over the steps for the dough again. What you want to do with the dough is you want to add 1 cup salt and 1 cup flour, 2 cups flour together, 1 cup salt, 2 cups flour together. Now you need to mix them with your hands really good to make sure nothing is sticking together. and then slowly add like tablespoon by tablespoon of water. In between each tablespoon, you want to really mix it together so it doesn't clump up. And then what you're gonna do is after that, you wanna let it knead for 10 minutes and then let it sit for 20 minutes. And then when you're done shaping it, you're gonna put it in the oven at 250 degrees Fahrenheit and then let it bake for about 2 hours. Make sure to look online how much you should bake it for what area you live in the United States, because you don't want to mess it up because at different humidities it makes it bake differently. Now you can make little figurines of whatever you like with all the extra dough, or you could use it for whatever you like. But be careful not to leave it sitting around for pets, because if pets eat it, it'll make them sick, and that'll be bad. Now it does smell strongly like salt, so if you want to add essential oil to make it smell like something, like peppermint or something like that, or just vanilla, you can add vanilla to it and it'll help it smell better, not real salty. But you can use any kind of salt you like, table salt, fine salt, Himalayan salt, and any type of salt you like. What's the question? Any questions? Remember to post your things and click on Knead to help follow Knead. And make sure to post all your little Knead creations and go #Knead project. Thank you. Bye.